season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. Our Darius Stewart now on the return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Harmon. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Wentz now on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
We'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Now it's the former Bronco. This is C.J. Anderson. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. Third down now. It's C.J. Anderson. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
Not the result they were looking for there on 3rd down. They end up taking a loss on the play. The only person happy now, the punter, gets to go out there and show Mom that he gets to play in the game.
And this one will be touchdown inside the 40-yard line. Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. They'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Wilson. They'll roll him out right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position. Couldn't hold on. 3rd down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Open man, and that's his tight end, Jake Butt. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. They stopped him shy of the marker, thought they were bringing up 4th down, and then that penalty.
Let's face it, they thought they had bent, but could absorb that, right? Instead, they broke as a result of their own penalty.
On 1st down, Wilson. Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Tahir Whitehead. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
The first carry for Josh Adams. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the the 24. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now they try the right side here. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 25 yards, the pickup there, and also a first down. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out,
and he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. A great play there with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Broncos have taken the early lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best pick. Find a matchup, create it, exploit it.
Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. A gain of 6 there on first.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. On 2nd down, Adams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
I like how they worked the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
To throw is Wentz. Flushed out right. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Wentz. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well. Here now, Johnny Townsend. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. Fielded just inside the 20. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Wilson on first down. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the third time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. They come up with exactly 1 minute to go in this first quarter. Now they'll run it on the toss. Slips past, and nothing but daylight ahead. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Broncos able to show off their quick strike ability. From the shotgun, Wilson. That is caught. He's got it. And the lead will move to 14-0. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it? It
certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets them a first down.
Partner, it's often the man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
We're looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. He got 29 yards that time.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route, it's extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Now Wentz throwing on second down. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Sw8oh2's in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Sw8oh2's in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
It's been a nightmare season. You're well under 500. Your defense hasn't really kept in a lot of games. And now it's spilling over to the kicking game. That's 3 points you've got to be able to bank on.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That's a good way to start the drive, 17 yards and a 1st down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield. for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And they'll get him down here at about the 42.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
Hey, tempo.
On second down, here's Wilson. He'll buy some time right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused.
Must have.
It had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Throwing is Wilson. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed. Because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And give him 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
Let's go. 14.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And this one's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
Get him, boy.
This Raider defense not giving in. They'll try to hold once more on 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Wilson. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open. Left him nowhere to go with the football. Had to absorb the sack.
So on 4th down, on comes Brandon McManus and the field goal unit for the Broncos. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And McManus able to put it through. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there, because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told, as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And now here come the Raiders. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, so.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up, because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did, because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. The Raiders on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Now Wentz. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. The Broncos say they have it. They do.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. And his throw here is incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Now Wilson on second down. Flush to his right. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Devontae Adams, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos will extend their lead. And oh, it's no good. For the 2nd time now in this first half, he's missed an extra point. Now McManus on to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. A little juke. And now running right through it. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Von Miller in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On second down now, Adams. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Now Wentz. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Now Adams, and he stopped immediately there. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. Wentz to throw on second down. Then he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
An incomplete pass on second down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Wentz now to throw. Eluding the pressure right. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. From midfield, here's Wentz. Forced out to his left. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
On second down, Adams. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Wentz. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. There's really no reason to change what they've been doing to this point. They've got the lead. They've looked good this first half.
I agree with you totally, and a lot of coordinators, play callers feel exactly the same way. Until you stop what I'm doing, why should I make any changes? But there are a few that kind of outguess themselves or try to outguess the opponent, and they try to consider what they would do to take things away and go to those plays right away. It'll be fun to watch when they get to the second half to see which way they...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Wentz. Buying time to his left. Dancing to his left. He finds an opening past the 40. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. As they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Wentz now on 1st down. He sets to fire deep. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Here's Wentz to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They do go for it. It's Wentz. Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And incomplete, he dropped it in the end zone. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. He hit his first. Now this from 43. And McManus able to put it through. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell him, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we might have to go for the hot dogs.
Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he...
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
To me, the defense was looking a little gassed near the end of the first half, but they come out of the locker room with a little extra spring in their step. Wonder what they did at halftime to get them so motivated.
I don't know, but that sack looked good. Now let's see if they can build on the momentum of that play. And this will be taken at the 13. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing on first is Wentz. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Preston Smith in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Throwing is Wentz. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
To throw, it's Wentz. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for Ardarius Stewart there. And now it's 2nd down.
After that throw, and it was definitely one that he would love to have back, I wonder what's going through his head. I wonder what kind of mind game he's playing with himself to get himself back on track. Because a lot of guys, that's what they do. They have little triggers that when the mechanics are off, or if they make a bad throw, they go to that place to get themselves back in sync.
He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield, and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. On 1st down, Wentz. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. To throw is Wentz. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. Picked off by Justin Simmons. He's at the 30. 10, 5, and he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
That's fielded in the end zone. Ooh, with a juke. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25.
Here we go.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. That's complete over the middle to Stewart. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. And a quick slant gets exactly 10, and by the nose of the football, they've got a first down. Wentz now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. The backup Rob Kelly, his first carry. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. It's the Pro Bowler Chandler Jones who makes the tackle.
He wasn't ready.
Wentz going to throw. Rolling, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Shaquille Barrett coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs.
Through an opening, and there he goes. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And this will be a dump off for Kelly. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be 2nd and about a yard.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Wentz now on 1st down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Will Parks. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed a quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Marcus Gilchrist there to bring him down.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
Yeah, at the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who threw it.
And what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Here's Wilson sliding out of the pocket. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Carl Joseph. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. And he's only able to get it up to about the 2-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll make it 2nd down. A carry for Adams. And I don't know if he made it out of the end zone. No signal. Yes, it's a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? That's what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, start the bus, because they think this one is over.
And coming out now, the Broncos. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to loft one deep. That's caught inside the 20. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there. We keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, it brings me right out of my seat.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. A great play there. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Broncos continue to pour it on. This part of the game's been an adventure thus far, but this one is good. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag is down. This could possibly be a push-off. Looked like some hands both ways. They got it on the offense.
And sometimes there's a fine line between being the receiver and the DB, and he knocked that one away. Might have caused an incompletion that could have been an interception.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Tight end right. Empty. Tight. Move the team.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And the Raiders have got him. Michael Bannon in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the gun, it's Wilson. This is caught inside the 15. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around to make a play on the football.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. They're only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
5 yards that time on the completion. And now it's 3rd and goal.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's...
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This will be taken in at the 1. A nice little juke. And now running right through it. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Throwing now is Wentz. He goes underneath for Anderson. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. And that's a loss of 7 on the first down play. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a second and long. Wentz being chased out left. And this one is incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now Wentz, forced out to his left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this.
Hey, here we go. 120.
Now Wentz, gotta have this one. And this is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Broncos will take over on downs. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Throwing is Wilson. They'll roll him out right. Now he'll let it go deep, and that's caught inside the 30. It's a big play there for the Broncos. 44 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
That is caught inside the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. Now the ball comes loose, and the Raiders have recovered. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out fumble. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, two hands. Get two hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Wentz now on first down. His throw incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now Wentz. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. Wentz now to throw. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Here's Wentz to throw. He's going to let it fly. Incomplete. And we're down to 8 seconds now. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. Wilson wants to throw it. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Second and 10 now, Wilson. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them. And
as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Denver, their very slim playoff hopes remain as they move to 6 and 7 on the year. And they will head home next week to take on the LA Chargers. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they're squarely in play for next year mode now as they drop to 2 and 11. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Houston Texans. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.